Welcome back. You're watching our CNBC TV 18 special. We're in conversation with the Finance Secretary, Rajiv Mehrishi. Let me now talk to you about some of the other issues that you're dealing with. And on the disinvestment front, Coal India, an additional 10% stake sale has been announced by the government. Merchant bankers are to be appointed by the 2nd of September. Indian Oil Corporation merchant bankers have already been appointed. Do you believe that given the global volatility as far as equity markets are concerned, the need of the hour is to push the accelerator and get these disinvestments done as early as possible, perhaps ahead of the US Fed meeting?
No, disinvestment is an announced policy of the government. There is a figure given in the budget, yes. And I think that the disinvestment department is quite confident of reaching that figure.
Except the Secretary says that it's very ambitious, it's very challenging, and so far you've only done 2 small issues, and Coal India perhaps will be the big one.
Well, we still have 8 months left or 7 months left, but it's nice to have challenging targets. Otherwise, nobody will climb the Everest, no? If you want challenging.
But are you going to be pushing ahead on the disinvestment ahead, as I said, of further uncertainty that could be caused on account of the Fed, for instance?
So what impact a Fed hike will have on prices here and whether that will discourage us from selling is again something that, the impact of Fed, what it will be on India, is actually very, very difficult to predict. So we'll have to respond when the impact of the effect takes place. So I think if the impact is not too serious and if everything goes normal, our stock markets perform well, there is no reason why we should not be able to, if not actually hit the target, at least come extremely close to it.
Okay. But how worried or concerned are you as far as the NPL situation is concerned at this point in time? And that seems to be the red flag that is being raised by both the central bank as well as rating agencies that are looking at India. How worried are you today?
No, it is a serious issue. It's an extremely serious issue because banks are stressed. They're finding it difficult to lend. Borrowers are finding it difficult to borrow at the kind of rates that are being proffered. So it is a difficult situation for the banks, and I think in banks, apart from recapitalization, more needs to be done. So raising more capital by way of disinvestment is one. The other thing government is already doing, and which is getting better management, more professional management. Perhaps there may be a need also to see whether we need some consolidation, whether we need any fire sales. The other day, the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog spoke about a bad bank, and that also we should look at. So whether you call them fire sales or a bad bank, whatever. But some of the balance sheets of the banks have to be cleared, and just infusion by recapitalization by government may not be sufficient to clean up the equity.
So is the government actively looking at fire sales, actively looking at consolidating within the banking space?
Well, the alternative has been mooted, so it will be examined, and there is obviously. The fact that there is government have decided to recap should enable banks, because ultimately it's the bank's decision, should enable banks to actually look at the fire sale option, because otherwise they would have found it difficult to take a hit on their equity. So it should be possible. So that is, so it's something again which will unfold in the next few weeks. So there is no yes or no decision as yet on this.
You're saying that a decision on possible consolidation could emerge in the next few weeks?
No, I'm saying about, you asked me about fire sales. So
yeah.
I said that banks have to decide, and they should be able to take a view on that in the coming weeks or months, on whether they would like to, with this recap, they're in a position to do some fire sales to clean up their balance sheets, where they have greater equity infusion. So it's again, as I said, again 3, 4, 5 steps that all have to be taken in a balanced fashion, in parallel, and so whether it's disinvestment, whether it's recapitalization, whether it's fire sales, all this has to be looked at, in a balanced and proper fashion, and done, in parts in respect of all. There is no single solution to this problem.
Okay, let me talk to you about institutional reforms, and let me start by asking you about what has become the big controversy as far as the Monetary Policy Committee is concerned. Where do things currently stand as far as the composition of the committee? The Reserve Bank Governor says that there was a consensus that was arrived at between North Block and the Central Bank on the composition. The Finance Minister in his conversation with us says it's not a decision that has been taken yet. Where do things currently stand? Is there an agreement with the Reserve Bank on the composition, sir?
Well, there is a broad agreement and the T's have to be crossed and I's have to be dotted. But, you know, the Monetary Policy Committee is actually the oversight of the PDMA, because you see, most people did not, I think, catch on to the idea that basically in the monetary policy function of the RBI, where they would like to keep, sometimes keep the rates high, inflation rates are high, and the public debt management function of the RBI, they would like to keep the cost of borrowing for the government low. Yeah. There is an inherent conflict of interest. Right. So basically, I think the two issues need to be seen together, settled together, and I think we are making steady progress on both. And if we are lucky and things go right, then hopefully there should be some movement in the winter session of Parliament. On
both, on PDMA as well as
yes,
the MPC?
I am hoping to, and I am working towards that.
Okay. On the composition, sir, and again, this has been the controversy that's captured headlines on whether the governor should have veto or not have veto. And the governor, on his part, has categorically stated that it's fine for there to be a committee and for the committee to take that decision and not just depend on the governor's decision. 3+3+ casting vote, is that the current agreement between North Block and Central Bank?
This is not something that can be discussed before it's placed in Parliament. This is Parliament's prerogative, and I am a civil servant and I don't discuss these things in public till they go to Cabinet and till they are placed before Parliament. Once, I am not keen to commit breach of privilege, so once we place it in Parliament, you know the structure. So I am not going to tell you what the structure is likely to be.
Casting vote or
I cannot tell you, Shireen, because really it's Parliament's prerogative to decide these things.
Sure. So what should we expect now in terms of the forward movement or the path as far as both the PDMA and the monetary policy? You said that you hope to take both these matters to Parliament in the winter session because the RBI Act will need to be amended, at least as far as the MPCC is concerned.
Yes. As I said that I would like to, I'm working towards it, and hopefully if we have an all-round agreement, we will be there. So we are working towards this target, which is also incidentally challenging.
You know, speaking of reforms at this point in time, in terms of expenditure management and expenditure control, we've seen further movement, and of course it's been helped by the fact that globally oil prices have come off quite sharply. Fiscal deficit target, do you believe you will be able to better that at the end of the year?
No, question is, should I try to better it? I don't think we should try to better it. So the finance minister announced in the budget speech that he would like to see greater public investment as an impetus to further growth. So there is no reason for us to try to get a better fiscal deficit number for the sake of getting it. So we should step up on public expenditure. The revenues, indirect tax revenues are robust. So we have, there is no need for us to, at this point in time, to look at a cut in expenditure. Public investment is required, so expenditure is required. And the one thing that is not talked about is that in the first quarter, even capital expenditure by the government has been higher than last year. So I think there is, in my own opinion, we should be just happy to hit the target of 3.9%. We shouldn't be worse off. But there is no need whatsoever to try to better that.
Ms. Mehrishi, let me ask you about the current speculation in the corridors of power. Are you likely to get an extension, sir?
Well, I don't think you expect me to answer that, but I shall. So, I don't want to talk about myself, but it is my general belief that when a person's time comes, he must go. And it is also my general belief that the younger lot are much better than, by definition, than people who are retiring or old. So I think handing, if frankly in an ideal world that I would dream of, government would not make you a secretary if you're over 50. So we need younger people in the system. So that's my general belief in what I personally believe in. But my beliefs are my beliefs.
Your beliefs are your beliefs, and the speculation though continues in the corridors of power. But it's always a pleasure speaking with you, Mr. Mehrishi. Appreciate your time here on CNBC TV 18. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Well, with that, it's time for us to wrap up this edition of our CNBC TV 18 special. From all of us here, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.